Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Rebel Rewind. My name's Christopher. That's Eric over here with me as always. How you doing, Eric?
I'm doing wonderful, man. How you doing, Chris?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Uh, got some fun stories tonight. I think some interesting
Yes.
stories. Some that like the title said, it could be a big opportunity for Star Wars, which we'll get into in a little bit. So what's new with you on the Star Wars front? Anything new happening?
Well, new, yes. I just was showing you a little bit
Yeah,
earlier, but I ended up getting these two games for my PlayStation 5. I just got it yesterday. So
nice.
first time owning PlayStation 5, so I got these awesome games. Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor. So I haven't even cracked it out the box. It's still in the box. So.
Yeah, I'm still behind too, man. I got to get a PS5 as well because I'd like to play like those two games as well and
Mhm.
Outlaws as well. Looks very cool. So
Yeah. Yeah, I see. I got got all of my PlayStations. I got actually matter of fact my very first Nintendo, and I still got PlayStation 1, 2, 3, 4, and now I got
oh wow,
PlayStation 5. So I
yeah,
need to maybe put them over here, display them or
yeah.
something. I don't
Have
know.
them on display. Yeah,
hmm
yeah, that'd be
So
cool.
can't wait to play. So maybe I'll do play live or something one of these days
Yeah,
as a first
yeah,
time
that'd be
player.
cool. That would
Yep.
be cool.
And yourself, what you
Uh,
been playing lately?
not a lot. I'm so my collection room. It's kind of a little bit of a mess here. I'm waiting for the landlords to come in. Well, like our apartment complex, they're supposed to be replacing all our windows, and
Okay.
they gave us a notice like a month ago saying that we have to move stuff away from the window. And so now my room's just kind of sitting in a mess right now until they come and replace the window. But kind of running out of time with the colder weather coming. So who knows if
Oh
they'll do it
yeah, they need to
before?
get on it.
Yeah. So
They need to get
so
on
I'm
it.
just kind
Yeah,
of like I'm just kind of sitting here. I got like a D12 cabinet that I picked up a
uh-huh.
couple weeks ago for my Funkos, just sitting here
Sitting
empty
there.
because I don't want to put it in the spot that I want to put it in because I'm gonna have to
Mhm.
move it if they decide to do the windows all of a sudden. So we'll
Yep.
see. Yeah, but other than that, yeah, got my haul video coming out next week. I picked up quite a bit of stuff this past month, so yeah, got some pretty cool
Sweet.
stuff.
Sweet.
Yeah. But let's jump into our first story here. We got D Breen says hello there. How's it going? Thanks for
Thanks for
hopping in
that.
the chat. Appreciate you. Yeah. So our first story comes from Variety, and this was Star Wars movie with Daisy Ridley loses screenwriter Stephen Knight. So there's another disturbance in the Force. Screenwriter Stephen Knight has departed the Star Wars movie set to follow Daisy Ridley's Rey after the events of 2019 Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. So in March of 2023, Variety exclusively reported that Knight had signed on to the project, replacing original screenwriters Damon Lindelof and Justin Britt Gibson. Lucasfilm is actively talking with potential writers to take on the story, which has been said to chronicle Rey's efforts to start a new Jedi Academy. But with the delay, likely means production won't start until well into 2025 at the least, because this movie, it's either going to be this movie or the James Mangold Dawn of the Jedi, First Jedi um, movie that's going to be coming out in that 2026 slot in the December 2026 slot there. So either this one has to start production soon or the other one has to start production soon. And according to the article, Charmin Obaid Chinoy is still attached to direct the film, which would be her feature debut. She previously directed episodes of the Disney Plus series Miss Marvel, which I enjoyed that series. Um, after twice winning the Oscar for Best Documentary Short Film, while discussing her latest documentary about designer Diane von uh, Furstenberg, which premiered on Hulu in June, Obaid Chinoy told Variety that the Star Wars story that interests me most is in Rey's journey as a female Jedi. That's how I can best bring my experiences to it. Knight, meanwhile, has been a prolific creative force in film and TV, writing the screenplay for the upcoming Maria Callas biopic, Maria, with Angelina Jolie, and a feature film adaptation of his popular BBC series Peaky Blinders, which stars Cillian Murphy. And that's the only thing that I know him from. I don't know him from anything else. Like he's created the series for FX, The Veil, Disney Plus, A Thousand Blows, and the BBC This Town. So I haven't heard of anything else other than the Peaky Blinders series. So now this movie's kind of sitting in limbo now because the next with Stephen Knight exiting this movie as the writer. So the next Star Wars movie, The Mandalorian and Grogu, from director Jon Favreau, is scheduled to premiere May 2026. And then Disney slated 2 more Star Wars films for December 2026 and December 2027, but has not yet confirmed their titles. So, like I mentioned, either the Rey movie or the James Mangold Dawn of the Jedi movie have to fill that December 2026 slot. So, writer, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking they could go either one of two ways. So the James Mangold movie, I think we have a story here that we'll get into that mentions that they're about to film pretty quick. So the James Mangold Dawn of the Jedi movie could fill that slot, or what I had thoughts on, and I saw this on another channel. You probably follow him as well. The a Star Wars or a guy who loves Star Wars. He does live streams on his channel and talks news, and he mentioned in his live stream that that this would be a good opportunity for them to hire Tony Gilroy, who's done with Andor now, right? Because Andor's coming out next year. He's pretty much done with that now, right? So this would be a really good opportunity for them to get Tony Gilroy on board to write or rewrite or whatever of the Rey movie, right? And Tony Gilroy is pretty much a sure thing with Lucasfilm, right? Because he came in and did some writing stuff on Rogue One when that was kind of going through the same issues where they needed a new writer. He did Andor season 1. He's Andor season 2's coming out, right? So I think that would be a really great opportunity for them to get Tony Gilroy on, and it could be good for the Rey movie to have, like I said, a
cohesive storyline.
A cohesive storyline, and somebody who Lucasfilm trusts, like they trust Tony Gilroy, right? So it would be a smart move on their part to get Tony Gilroy.
I'm not hating that. I like that idea.
What are your thoughts on this with them losing their screenwriter? Do you think that they might get Tony Gilroy? Do you think they might get some other screenwriter, or do you think they're just going to get the James Mangold movie done and get that one in that 2026 slot?
I think that's probably what's going to happen. But if they did, I mean, Tony Gilroy, man, would be perfect. Writing the story for this. I mean, it's like he knows what he's doing. And like, even though it's like Andor season 1. I mean, people say that's slow, but I mean, that's how you're building up the story. And there's not one little detail that he misses. He always comes back around to. So that's what I'm talking about. If they can do that for the next Rey movie, I think that would be fantastic. Yeah. No, I'm for it if that's the case. Yeah. But definitely want to see the Dawn of the Jedi movie for sure. First, before this Rey movie comes out. Yeah.
It could. Like I said, it could be a huge opportunity for Star Wars to get Tony Gilroy to finish doing the Rey movie, like do all the rewrites or continue on where Stephen Knight left off, right? So the Galactic Cantina says hello there. Hey, Galactic Cantina, thanks for hopping in the chat. So like I said, pretty big opportunity for Star Wars if they do get Tony Gilroy on there, but we'll have to wait and see.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
All right, so on to my first story for this evening. All right, so the Acolyte Darth Plagueis concept art that came out, I think it was Thursday, came out, started hitting the internet, Instagram. So we've got some images, and I'm not sure if this site is going to be able to pull it up because there's some kind of copyright issue with the images. We have this image, but there's another image, but maybe if you can follow that one to the Instagram link. But so thanks to the Acolyte, we finally got a canon look at the Mun, the myth, the legend, the tragedy himself, Darth Plagueis the Wise, the most discussed, most theorized about mysterious master of Darth Sidious, the person who kickstarted the grand plan for destroying the Jedi and replacing the Republic with a new Sith Empire. So the artist here is Sabi Minihai. Took to Instagram to share some concept art for Plagueis, including a clear look of the Mun's head and even a full glimpse of the body. And he's dressed in the more luxurious attire than his cave outfit. The fancier, fully dressed or full body look into particular interest because of Plagueis' uber rich background. So there's some like gold trimmings on his on one of the concept arts. So Plagueis was not just a Sith Lord, but a scientific genius who could create life itself, and also one of the richest and baddest guy in the galaxy. Operating under his alter ego, Higo the Mask, Darth Plagueis was a bigger banker in the galaxy and even bankrolled the creation of the Clone Army. The concept art shows some gold trims on Plagueis' robes, teasing his extreme wealth. So I'm not sure if that image right there shows that, but I mean, I think it's pretty cool that we get, and like one of the images like so lifelike, the one I think they have on Instagram.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to find on their Instagram, but
I think there may be a link, but yeah, it was like really.
Yeah, let me just Google
I think they were like really copywriting that image of Plagueis.
Yeah,
but I mean, that's a fantastic image right there, because I mean, it was cool that we saw him, but it was just like very dark, and we didn't get a really good glimpse of him. But
yeah,
if we would have got maybe a clearer image of it, I think that would have been even better.
Yeah, let me just take. I'm just quickly Googling and see if I can get anything.
Yeah, they're really protective of the image.
Yeah, here we go.
What's the deal with that music?
There we go. So that's the other image there.
Yes.
Right?
Yep. So that very lifelike.
Yeah. So yeah, you can see like the bits of gold in his outfit as well.
Mm-hmm.
But that one looks very lifelike, and that's kind of like what they went with there with him in the shadows. So
like it really
what do you think? Like, do you think we're ever going to get like a continuation of this story, like maybe a Darth Plagueis series, and maybe we get some more of his story, maybe Chimera as well in a Darth Plagueis series? What do you think? Do you think we'll ever get?
I think we'll get some more. Maybe get him in a theater. I mean, like in a movie or something like that. But
yeah.
For Acolyte season 2, I don't think that's happening. But
no, I don't think we're getting Acolyte season 2, but like a spin-off series, they could probably do a spin-off series, of just like a Darth Plagueis.
Yeah, but don't cheapen it up with maybe an animation of it. No, just we want a real live action.
Yeah.
Just.
All right,
so I thought that was a very cool image of him, and I was like, dude,
oh yeah, and they look great. Right, so would have been cool to see him like the full body.
I mean, yeah. Imagine if he would have like, instead of him just kind of hiding there, him actually that's coming out and then pan out,
like come out of the shadows and like ignite his lightsaber.
A little bit, just a little bit more than what we got.
Yeah, and if he lit up his lightsaber after he came out of the cave, and then it switched scenes, right? So could have been cool.
Yep.
But jumping into the next story, so as I mentioned, James Mangold's Star Wars Dawn of the Jedi is set to shoot next year. So this is an update. So contrary to the original publishing source, the source for this story was not Empire Magazine, but rather Daniel Richman. So earlier, Hollywood loves James Mangold. He's one of the go-to hired hands in the industry and a decently talented filmmaker who doesn't mind adhering to the creative control that studios enforce upon him. Not an amateur in the least bit, but with films such as Ford versus Ferrari, Logan, Copland in his filmography, it's not too shabby either. So the latest Mangold endeavor is a complete unknown, which is a Bob Dylan biopic set for release in December. However, Daniel Richman is saying that after Complete Unknown, Mangold's set to shoot his Star Wars movie, Dawn of the Jedi, and it could happen as early as next year. So, Dawn of the Jedi will explore the origins of the Jedi, taking place in the earliest era in the Star Wars franchise. This film is set 25,000 years past or in the past. Bo Wilson or Bo Williman from Andor was recently tapped to co-write the Dawn of the Jedi alongside Mangold. Lucasfilm and Kathleen Kennedy haven't released a Star Wars movie since 2019's Rise of Skywalker, with Shameen Obaid-Chinoy pending planned Rey movie having been put on hold, or quote, put on hold, especially now with the writer Stephen Knight not being on the project anymore. So I guess this could possibly, like I mentioned in the first story, this could possibly fill in that December 2026 slot. But yeah, it could start shooting as early as next year, and yeah, for it to, you would think they would have to start shooting pretty early next year for it to be done and have enough time for like post production and all that stuff. So like you would think it would have to start filming in like January, February, maybe March at the latest to get it all filmed and have enough time to do post production and stuff like that on it, right? So, but what are your thoughts? Like, sorry?
No, I was gonna say, I wonder how long it usually takes for them to film a movie.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it usually takes about like, I want to say like 6 months. I would think, like for a movie, I think like anywhere from 4 to 6 months. I think, but I'm not sure. But you would think it would have to be done by, like if it's gonna get released December 2026, you would think it would have to be done at least like a year before, like
yeah, for them to start editing,
right?
and yeah,
right. So
I think for most part of it, editing is usually what takes. I mean, maybe
all the special effects and stuff.
Yeah,
but yeah,
to get it just
think
right.
I think it could be a good one to put out first, and then I mean, like, because James Mangold has quite the resume, right, with the Logan movie and stuff like that under his belt. So this could be a good one to push in that December 2026 slot. And you're gonna have the Jon Favreau Mando and Grogu movie come in what is it, the May of 2026. So if you have those two as your first two movies back in theaters, and they do well, then it kind of gets Star Wars fans back on board with the movies. And like we said, like we mentioned, if they can get Tony Gilroy to finish writing the Rey movie, then that could be like 3 really good movies coming to theaters, right?
Yeah, no, this is one of the movies I've been like, can't wait to see actually how they build this out, how he connects to the Force, how this character connects to the Force. I think it's pretty very, very cool. Totally different idea. Being the first Jedi, different. I think that's really cool.
Yeah. So you're okay with the with this movie coming out first, eh?
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I mean, it's good to know what's going to happen with Rey and how later on in the future, but to bring it all like way back into the past. I think that's very cool. And then maybe, I don't know, like get some like solid history of how the Force is, and because they always talk about this ambiguity about the Force, right? We
Yeah,
can get like some like really good stuff about maybe him connecting to the midichlorians for the first time, or I don't know. It's just kind of interesting, you know, like where's he going to go with this? How much
yeah,
detail is going to put into it?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
It could be
I'm
good.
psyched for this.
Yeah, and then like that gives them time to find a new writer for the Ray movie, and yeah, get that one, get that script done and perfected and ready to shoot, and that can come out in 2027 then.
Yeah.
So
I wonder if
yeah,
it's
I'm
got
all
if
for it.
it's gonna how he's gonna connect it to the Mortis gods, and it's just like so much
Yeah,
they're gonna
I
go with
feel like
this.
there's going to be some kind of connection
Yeah.
with all of these three movies, right? Because you got one taking place in the Mandoverse, which um takes place at the same time as the Ahsoka series, which we just found out about the Mortis gods on
Hmm.
Peridia there. So like, could they connect this by having, it can be connected through three different time periods, right?
Hmm.
Could
Or
be
or
cool.
or even the wills, you know, how
Yeah,
we can get some story about them. I don't know. It's all so much you can go with this, but I think it's very cool. Nice, I'm
yeah,
down for this.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so the first story we got that the director for the Ray movie has departed, but we still got some stories on Ray continuation, the continuation of Ray's story, and this is a very maybe I don't know if you say controversial, but where it's hinting at. So Daisy Ridley hinted at the upcoming Star Wars movie may be the beginning of a new series. So Daisy Ridley has implied that Star Wars, the new Jedi Order, will be beginning its new series. The upcoming Star Wars New Order, New Jedi Order, which does not have official title announced, was written by Stephen Knight and since departed, and directed by Charmaine Obaid Chinoy, attached to direct it. It is set to feature the return of Ridley's sequel trilogy character, Rey. She says that I feel like the new ones will be interesting. So time has passed, a lot has changed for me personally. So I'll be interested to come back to someone who I know very well. It may be the case that Rey's New Jedi Order movie will be expanding into multiple features, kicking off a new series of direct sequels. So maybe a trilogy. So if these hints at indeed point to the Star Wars New Jedi becoming the first installment of a continuing series, this may mean that the new movies will functionally become episode 10 through episode 12 of the flagship series. So it's like where she was kind of like hinting, and I'm not sure if this is all pure speculation of what she said. Could have been a slip up, but
Yeah,
who knows?
I mean, well, first give me your thoughts. Like, what do you think about it possibly being like a setting up a new trilogy with Ray,
Oh man,
like a sequel trilogy?
I'm kind of mixed because I didn't care to like what I'm saying about the sequel trilogy. I wasn't a big fan of it. I mean, I liked some of the aspects of it, but I wasn't like on the whole full story of it. But like if they do it right and maybe bring in some characters, they have you have your characters for the sequels, but maybe since those characters already mentioned, maybe mention them in another story, but have a new set of characters, something fresh, not a continuation. It'll be like six movies for the sequels. That wouldn't make sense.
Yeah,
But if I mean, I'm not 100% for down with this, but like I go back to what I said maybe about 3 months ago. If they did a series on Disney Plus, I'm okay with that. But for them continuing making a movie of it, I think it's not gonna. I don't think it's gonna go very well.
all
But that's
right.
just my opinion.
Yeah, so I kind of think the opposite. I think I think it could be good, especially now that we mentioned this story and the first story that Stephen Knight has departed as the writer. Star Wars, bring on Tony Gilroy. Like he's almost he's like Andor season 2 is coming out next year. He's not doing anything. Get him to help with the writing and flush this thing out and make it perfect. Then you get this movie, which could be the start of a Rey trilogy. It could be good. We could get to see Finn training with Rey. You could see Grogu, who's older now, training with Rey in her new academy. Get a new Star Wars villain. But then also, like, this is just speculation, but like, what if all three of these movies, so like the Mandalorian and Grogu, the James Mangold Dawn of the Jedi, and then this new Rey movie, what if they're all the starting of three new trilogies? So like a Dawn of the Jedi trilogy, a Mandalorian trilogy, and then a Rey Skywalker New Jedi Order trilogy. I think that could be cool. What do you think about that?
I think they probably will do the Mandalorian as a trilogy.
Trilogy, yeah.
Well, like that Endgame kind of concept. Maybe after the second movie, they'll do one more for just to complete the story for that one. But I don't know if they're gonna just make this a sequel of the sequels.
I think it could be, right? Because there's still a lot of sequel fans, even though, like, I know you didn't like it. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but there's still a lot of sequel fans. There's a lot of younger fans that enjoyed the sequels, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, if they get a good writer like Tony Gilroy and flush this thing out and make it, as good as they possibly can, then it could be a good movie, and then we could get like, 2 more parts to this trilogy, and then we get a Dawn of the Jedi trilogy, like 3 movies in that time period, and then 3 Mandalorian period movies. I think it could be cool.
Do you think they'll do a 3 movies for the Dawn of the Jedi movies?
Yeah, I mean,
you think it's going to be
why not? I can't. This is just speculation, but I kind of think. I think that it could be like, if these movies do well enough, they could do like like continue the story in another movie, like another 2 movies. So you get your Dawn of the Jedi trilogy, you get your Mandalorian trilogy with Jon Favreau's movie kicking it off, and then Dave Filoni's movie might be the second one, and then there might be there'll probably be a third one, and then you have a Rey Skywalker trilogy, right? So we get 3 new trilogies out of these movies.
It's a possibility. I think if anything, for sure, they're gonna link up one more movie for the Mandalorian movie. I'm thinking they're probably. I think in that Dawn of Jedi is going to be just a standalone movie.
You think it'll be a standalone?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards a trilogy. It would be cool if it was a trilogy.
Yeah.
Right, because I mean, like one movie, let's say it's like 2 hours, maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours for the movie, right? Maybe it's a longer movie. I still feel like that time period, like you don't get to explore as much as you would if you had like a trilogy of movies to explore that time period, right? So
yeah, well, I mean, I think that would be a good idea. I mean, if they did continue with the, making a trilogy out of it. But
yeah,
I think what they were just trying to say was that this was going to be a standalone kind of thing. If they do continue, that storyline, it would be kind of cool. But you got so much to go with back there, so in past.
Yeah,
but I don't see this.
Got Steve says, "Hey guys, just dropping in to smash that like button. Have a good stream. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate it.
Thank you. No, I think this is going to be just a episode 10. I think that's just going to be it.
You think that's
it? Who knows? Yeah. I think this is what we're going to see is we're going to catch up with her, what she's doing, and then just kind of leave it for your own imagination.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Like from her words, it kind of sounds like it could be.
I know, but I mean,
like again, like it's quite a bit of story to tell too in this time period as well. So, I think I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards like that maybe that's what they're starting is like they're giving us these 3 different movies in 3 different time periods, and just kind of setting things up for like 3 new trilogies, like I said, and explore these 3 different timelines that are like they got they're not related to each other. They got nothing. They're not connected. Well, maybe they could be connected to each other in some way, like if they do like the Mortis gods or whatever across these 3 movies. But I feel like a trilogy would be a good way for them to explore all 3 of these time periods more, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess we'll have to
It's
wait
fun
and
to
see.
speculate.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. All right. Well, okay. So, is it my story?
Yeah. So jumping
Oh
into
no,
the
no,
next
you go.
story
You go
here.
ahead. Yeah,
Yeah.
yours.
So jumping into the next story. So this one's brought to you by the Bespin Bulletin, and this was posted on the 26th of October, and I think there is an update article to this one, which we'll jump into just after this one. So this one was posted up October 26th. So Star Wars: The Mandalorian and Grogu reportedly wrapped filming. So the next theatrical Star Wars release since the first since 2019 Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker has reportedly finished filming, according to a report from Puck News. In the latest piece from Puck News that broke, writer Stephen Knight of Peaky Blinders had exited the Star Wars New Jedi Order movie, the new Rey movie. It was mentioned that The Mandalorian and Grogu, a film written by Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni and directed by Jon Favreau, has recently finished filming ahead of its May 22nd, 2026 release date. Principal photography on The Mandalorian and Grogu reportedly began July of this year, but that some scenes were shot in June during the D23 Expo this summer. A teaser for the Star Wars film was shown exclusively for those who were in attendance and was not released to the public yet. The Mandalorian and Grogu is the follow-up to the hit Disney series The Mandalorian, which spawned 3 seasons. The planned 4th season of the series was morphed into The Mandalorian and Grogu. Executive producer of The Mandalorian and Grogu, Dave Filoni, is slated to follow up the release with his crossover film event, which will include characters and plot points from the Mandoverse, which includes series such as Mandalorian, Ahsoka, Book of Boba Fett, and no release date or title for Filoni's crossover film have been revealed, but the project was officially announced at Star Wars Celebration 2023 in London. So this is the first article, and then there was another article that was posted here as well. Let me see if I can get out of here. So this one was October 29th, which was what, yesterday or today, actually.
Today, yeah.
So yeah. So Star Wars: The Mandalorian and Grogu has not wrapped filming. Could run until December, which, like, so they said they started filming in what, June with some scenes, and then July principal photography started. So it's July, August, September, October, November, December. So that's like 6 months of filming, which kind of makes more sense than just a few months of filming for a movie. So that kind of makes more sense. But the article here, this newer article, says last week it was reported by Puck News that the next theatrical Star Wars release, the Mandalorian and Grogu, the follow-up to the Mandalorian series, had wrapped ahead of its May 22nd, 2026 release date. Many, and the writer of the article included, shared and credit the Puck News tidbit, which was part of the report that revealed the writer of the Daisy Ridley-led Star Wars New Jedi Order movie, Stephen Knight, had exited the project, which was later confirmed by the Hollywood Trades. However, this news that the Mando movie had wrapped, 2 sources reached out to offer some clarification on the situation. In the process of writing this article, Lateef Crowder, one of Din Djarin's stuntmen, shared a post on his Instagram story of him driving with stickers of the Mandalorian imagery, and that the word "bomb dia" on the screen. Though Crowder didn't outright say that this was related to work on the Mandalorian and Grogu. Perhaps this was Crowder implying that the Mandalorian and Grogu was still filming, and Crowder's way of responding to the reports that the movie had wrapped. And then the article goes on and says that the Mandalorian and Grogu could film until around December, is what one of the or two sources say. One source outright said December, and the other source said nearly 2 months, which would bring us to around December or the end of December. So, yeah, apparently it hasn't wrapped according to a couple sources, which, like, to me, it kind of makes sense. Like, July to October kind of is a little bit of a seems too short to me. So December going into January would make more sense to me. What are your thoughts? You think you think that would make more sense if it's still filming into December?
Yeah, that makes sense because like we were just talking about earlier, like 6 months or so, maybe 7 months to do the
Yeah.
filming on there.
Yeah, and with reshoots too, right? Like this could include reshoots and stuff like that. So
I think it's funny. It's just that everybody wants to have the first story, even if it's the information, right? So
yeah,
I'm kind of
yeah,
leaning to the fact that they're still probably filming,
yeah. Same here. I think it makes more sense to me.
or maybe they just
But
wanted to wait
either
till
way,
December.
even if they wrap filming in like January, they're still ahead of schedule. That gives them like over a year to do post production, right? So
yeah, maybe they can do some more hot scenes if they film in December and January. I don't know.
Right.
But no, I mean that makes more sense. I think it's just the fact that I think most people just want to be out there first and
yeah,
get the information out there, even if it's not 100% correct.
Yeah.
So, it's just the way it is.
Just the way it is. Yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah.
When we get some official word from Lucasfilm or whatever.
Yeah, because I mean, normally they'll just like they said, they put it out there like, oh, they finished filming. But I think it's maybe officially from Star Wars when they finish filming.
Yeah, and the other report, like whoever did the what was it, the Puck News, like they could have that could have been like maybe a misunderstanding. Maybe like some of the actors had wrapped on the movie, but like they're still filming other stuff without some of the other characters, like some of the other actors. So maybe some actors have finished, but not the entire production. So who knows? It could have been just a misunderstanding.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got Star Wars. Oh, we got some the fate of Mace Windu. So Star Wars officially confirms Mace Windu's fate after all these years. So Samuel Jackson, who brought Mace Windu to life in the live action film, have been quite confident Mace Windu is still alive, and I think he's alive also.
I think
he
so
seems
too.
to double down on that stance at the very famous Jimmy Fallon interview. He said there's a history of one-armed, one-handed people in Star Wars universe. So just because he cut off my arm and fell out of a window doesn't mean that I'm dead. So I'm a Jedi, the second most powerful Jedi in the universe next to Yoda. So so I can float, said Samuel Jackson. Yet he's out there. But if Mace Windu's hiding somewhere in the galaxy, why didn't he return to help the rebels fight the Empire? In a recent Star Wars book, it revealed that Mace has an unnatural attachment to the Republic and made some silly decisions in Revenge of the Sith. Therefore, it'll make sense that since the Republic fell, he just wanted to give up and disappear, either out of desperation or realizing that the Jedi has got it all wrong, and at a time that needed to be right. So second, Disney brought back. So it could be that Disney brings back Mace Windu in his own series. I mean, who knows if that's the case? But it'd be kind of cool if they did let him continue his story in his own series. I'm not
Yeah.
sure what you think about that.
I think that would be cool. Like you mentioned, I'm in the same boat. I think he's still alive out there. I think a couple of good ways they could bring him back. They could bring him back in possibly a second season of Kenobi, or even a second season of the Book of Boba Fett, which it takes place. The Book of Boba Fett takes place after Return of the Jedi, so Mace Windu would be pretty old, very
Yeah.
old, right? So, but I mean,
Samuel L. Jackson's getting up there in age, so I mean, he can pull.
Yeah, so
Easily pull that
I
off.
think the Book of Boba Fett makes more sense. Like maybe Boba Fett's out for revenge. Like he's now, in charge of in charge of Mos Espa, right? So maybe now that he's in charge of everything now, maybe he's gonna go on a mission to find the people who have wronged him, right? And we see more of a badass Boba Fett in season 2. Maybe he finds out Mace Windu is alive, right? So I feel like that would make for the better story. But I mean, you could bring him back in Kenobi season 2, even, right? Maybe Obi-Wan finds out that he's alive, hiding out on some planet somewhere, right?
Yeah, no, I like this. I like the first idea you have, connection.
Book of Boba. Yeah, I think that would make more sense to me.
You just bring out the best of these warriors against each other, man. That would be so awesome.
Yeah. Right? Boba Fett getting revenge on Mace Windu.
That would be kind of cool if you get some cybernetics also.
Yeah, right? I mean, that would make sense. He fell out a window, he lost his arm, right? So maybe he's got a cybernetic arm.
Yep. Anything. I mean, he wants it, like, and
he wants it.
George Lucas was like,
every time he does interviews, every time he
does
want
interviews, him to be alive, he's alive.
Yeah, right. So I think he is, and hopefully we get some sort of series or something. Maybe he pops up in an upcoming movie. Who knows, right?
Yep.
But next I have a story about some series coming to Blu-ray in the Steelbook. So I don't know if you collect these. I like collecting the physical movies with the Steelbook. So I have like episodes 1 to 6, or 1 through 9, and the 2 spin-off movies, Rogue One and Solo: A Star Wars Story. I got them all in the Blu-ray, the Steelbook, and they released the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian. They released the Kenobi series and the Andor series season 1 in the Steelbooks. So now, December 3rd, you can get the Mandalorian season 3 and the Ahsoka series on Blu-ray and Steelbook. So
look at that artwork.
Going to be something else I'm going to have to start collecting. And yeah, the artwork is it looks phenomenal. I don't know if it shows any inside packaging.
But you know who they left out, right?
That's the who's that?
Boba Fett.
Oh yeah, that's true. We don't have a Book of Boba Fett Steelbook yet. They
did my man wrong.
They'll release it when they release the Acolyte on Steelbook, which could be never.
Yeah. I think they just if they did a season 2,
they did your man dirty.
They did. It's like, where's his book? Where's his Steelbook?
Yeah, where's his Steelbook? Where's his series on Blu-ray? Right? Yeah. No, but I mean, I collect all these, so these will be nice to have. Like, I'm not gonna watch them. They're just nice to have the physical media, right? So right.
No,
so
I have
cool.
The original trilogy. I mean, I have maybe 6 of the Steelbooks from the movies, but I don't have any of the series.
Yeah, I don't have any of the series either. Wonderful. Yeah, they look cool. So I'm excited for that, and it comes out on the same day the Acolyte premieres. So perfect.
Yeah. I mean, look at the artwork. Ahsoka looks. I mean, that's
Yeah,
even the better looking. I mean, in my opinion, the Ahsoka one looks a lot better than the Mandalorian one. But the Mandalorian looks pretty cool too.
yeah, yeah.
So, all right, my last story for this evening. Star Wars sets up Captain Rex's return in the Mandalorian era and potential Ahsoka team up. Star Wars has set up a possible return for fan favorite clone trooper Captain Rex in the Mandalorian era, which could see him reunite with Jedi Ahsoka Tano. Audiences are eager to see Rex and Ahsoka connect once more, and Star Wars just dropped a major hint that reunion may be coming. In the brand new canon book, Star Wars: The Secrets of the Clone Troopers, written by Mark Sumerak, Captain Rex muses on his future in the wake of the fall of the Empire. The text states, "The war against the Empire may be over, but a good soldier knows that there's plenty of work left to be done after the last shot are fired. My rebel friends and I are picking up the pieces. It's been confirmed he did fight in the Battle of Endor also." So he's out there, and I'm glad that they're touching on the fact with that book that he's out there with his in helping out in the rebellion. So it's confirmation, of course, with the confirmation of him being on Endor, the Battle of Endor, that he's out there, and I hope that they do this and do it right and bring him into the Ahsoka series.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And you know, it kind of makes sense because, like in the Ahsoka series, they had Tamora Morrison reprise his role as Captain Rex, or I mean, not reprise his role, but like play live action Rex
Yeah,
in the
Rex, yeah.
flashback scene. So why not bring Tamora Morrison in to play Rex in live action with the older Rosario
Rex.
Dawson Ahsoka, right? At some
Yeah.
point, I mean, it makes sense. Why not? Kay says, "Sup."
So
Thanks, Kay, for hopping in the chat. Appreciate it. Yeah, I think it makes perfect sense for a Rex and an Ahsoka reunion at some point, right? Yeah, 10 rules. Yeah, yeah, and he that's another actor who's always down to come back and
yep.
into more Star Wars, do more Star Wars series and more Star Wars, and yeah, he's and bring back
It was
Daniel Logan,
it was awesome
too,
seeing him on Kenobi series.
right?
I'm
Yeah,
like,
that too, right? You
what?
saw him in the Kenobi series as the
Yeah.
clone trooper that's down on his luck and homeless and begging for
Yep.
money, begging
Yep.
for credits.
Yep.
So yeah, it could be very cool if we get
Imagine
a
if we get that look that old man Rex, the beard and
yeah,
the
with
shaved
the
head,
full
and
beard.
yeah,
Yep.
that'd be
Yeah.
it.
I mean, and I think he's probably a good age to play an
Yeah,
older Rex right now.
exactly.
So yeah, bring him back. Let's see
He's
a
been
Rex and
maintaining his weight, but I mean, I'm sure he could put
yeah,
on a few more pounds, put on that Rex body.
yeah, and yeah, he can pull off the beard too. So yeah, bring Tamora back. Let's get it done.
Yeah.
Yeah, so lots of good news, interesting news, fun news. So
Conflicting news,
yeah,
but
conflicting news.
it's all news.
But like we said, like the writer leaving the Ray movie, Stephen Knight leaving, it does open the door for like we mentioned, like maybe they get Tony Gilroy to come in and do
That'd be
the writing on
fantastic.
that, because like right, like he's somebody Lucasfilm trusts because he's proven himself to them with Rogue One, with Andor season 2, and so he's proven himself with that stuff, and I think fans also know that he's he's what he's capable of, right? So Case is a granddad bod for Rex, right? From Rebels.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome. Pulse collectible in the
What's up, Paul?
in the chat says lots of turmoil over at Lucasfilm. Hopefully that Mando movie shines. Yeah, I think it will. Like from the leaked footage. Like I don't know if anyone's seen the leaked footage. Have you seen it, Eric?
No, I haven't.
No.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, there was some leaked footage, and yeah, it does look cool. Cases, I hope they take their time.
Oh, you're talking about when they was it a D23 or which one
the
was
D23,
it? Yeah, I saw that.
where it showed it showed Mando, on that snow planet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cases, I hope they take their time and do it right with the Rey movie. The writer departure doesn't really bother me. Yeah, it doesn't bother me because it gives it like they're gonna find another writer, right? And like movies go through this stuff all the time. Like it's not nothing new. People overreact when they hear like, oh, a writer left, or like, oh, there's reshoots. Like reshoots happen on all movies, right? Like they always do reshoots later on and reshoot scenes that they feel need to get changed for whatever reason. Like rewrites happen on scripts all the time. So it's nothing new. It's nothing that should worry you. It doesn't worry me.
So
but
episode 10,
it seems like a perfect. Yeah, it seems like a perfect. It just seems like a perfect opportunity to bring Tony Gilroy in because he's kind of just sitting there, not doing anything now, right? Now that Andor 2 is coming up, so standard studio practice exactly. So yeah, I mean he's not doing anything. Andor 2 is coming out next year, so he's done with that stuff.
Let's do this, Chris. If it becomes a trilogy, a whole new trilogy, I'll pass over Pop to you. If it's just a standalone, then.
So what are we talking about? All three? Like if all three of them become a trilogy?
If it becomes a trilogy, I'll hand over a Pop of your choice.
Yeah, then, but like, are we talking like if we get 3 trilogies? So if we get like a Rey trilogy, if we get a
Rey
Dawn of the Jedi, we're just talking about the Rey movie right now.
About the Rey, yeah.
Well, why don't we do all 3? Why don't we do all 3 if all 3 of them end up a trilogy?
Well, because I mean, I kind of want that the
other 2.
Yeah,
and you want the Mando one to be a trilogy as well.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Yeah. If the Rey movie becomes a trilogy, like a sequel trilogy now, episodes 10 through 12. Yeah. Okay, that's fair. If it becomes a trilogy, you give me a Pop. If it doesn't, if it's a one and done, I'll give you a Pop.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. It's a bet.
Yeah. Kay says Gilroy certainly has the chops. Absolutely, right? So like he's proven himself to Lucasfilm. They trust him. And like I said, he's not up to much right now, right? With Andor being done and ready to come out on Disney Plus next year. So get him to do some writing on the Rey movie and just like get that thing perfect. And James Mangold will get his movie done and start shooting next year, so he can get that movie can take up the 2026, the December 2026 spot there, and get fans hyped for that, and then the Rey movie will be perfect and come out in 2027. So yeah, we got a plan.
We got a plan.
See if Lucasfilm follows it. Follows through, right? But that about wraps things up for this episode of Rebel Rewind. Thanks everyone for joining us this evening in the chat and giving us your thoughts and stuff on all our stories. If you want to check out the stories for yourself, all of them will be linked in the description below. But thank you everyone for watching, and we'll see everyone in the next episode.